Hi, this is Ben Fick from UK Net Guide, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can bet on snooker. Before you can start betting on snooker or any other sport, you need to choose a bookmaker. One of the things to look out for when deciding which company to go with is the size of the free bet on offer when you open an account. These free bets will usually take the form of a matched deposit. So if you were to deposit £25 into an account, you would get a total of £50 to bet with. Or if you deposited £100, you'd have £200 in your account to place bets with. UK Net Guide has compiled a top 10 list of bookmakers with details of all the sign-up bonuses available, so take a look at that page by clicking the link below now. For this example, I'm going to be using Bet365. When you first sign up to a bookmaker, you'll be asked for some personal details including name, date of birth, address, email and phone number. And you must be at least 18 years of age to open an account. I've already opened an account, so I'm going to quickly log in before we go any further. Now, because there is currently some live snooker going on, you can see that Bet365 allows you to stream the match directly from their site, and you can bet in play by clicking on More Markets. Here you'll once again see the live action, currently the World Championship semi-final between Ronnie O'Sullivan and Barry Hawkins. Now, because frames of snooker can change one way or another in a heartbeat, in-play betting can often provide opportunities to get good value. During each frame, you can bet on who you think will win that particular frame, and these odds are being constantly updated, so you have to be quick sometimes. While watching the odds during an earlier frame, I saw Ronnie O'Sullivan go from favourite to outsider and back to favourite again, all in the space of a few minutes, after Barry Hawkins was building a nice break before he got a kick and missed the pot. Ronnie O'Sullivan took full advantage to win that frame. Now, if you'd been quick to bet just as Barry Hawkins missed, you could have got 2-1 on O'Sullivan to win that frame. This is why Bet365 Quick Bet feature comes in handy. With this enabled, all you have to do is click twice for a bet to be placed, as you can see here. If I have my quick bet stake as £5, and I choose any particular market I want, all I have to do is click on the market, click on place bet, and that would be my bet placed. It's as simple as that. If this is not enabled, it can take that bit longer to enter your desired stake, and you might find that the odds change before you're able to bet. So if I click on the same market again, I now have to go over to the right hand side, enter the stake that I want to bet, and then click place bet. It takes that bit longer, and as the odds change quite quickly during the frame of snooker, this can actually mean you lose out. You can also bet on various markets involving the next frame of snooker, from the winner right through to what the first colour to be potted is. One market I like is the winning margin market, and to demonstrate how to place a bet, I'm going to quickly turn on Bet365 Quick Bet feature with a stake of £5, and I'm going to bet on Ronnie O'Sullivan to win the next frame by between 31 and 55 points. All I have to do, click on the market, click place bet, and that's my bet placed. I could do the same with any of these other markets available, such as whether or not Ronnie O'Sullivan will score a century in frames 5 to 8, or the highest break in frame 8 if I wanted to. And of course, I could also bet on the match result from this screen too. Currently, Ronnie O'Sullivan is 14-1 on to win the match, and he's currently 4-2 up. Now, if a match is not currently in play, I could also navigate to it by clicking on sports, clicking on snooker, and then if I click on the full list under the match coupon market, you'll see that there is another match coming up soon, which is the other semi-final between Mark Selby and Neil Robertson. So I click on that, I can see all of the different markets that are available for this match. Now, when it comes to snooker statistics, a good site to go to would be qtracker.net, where you'll be able to see statistics for the players, the tournaments, and various things like head-to-head matchups. So this screen here is showing you the number of centuries that each player has made so far in the current 2013-2014 season. And you can see Neil Robertson has actually scored a century of centuries. It's 100 centuries so far. And Mark Selby, his opponent, has actually scored 46. So if I quickly go back and look at the match centuries market, then you'll be able to see I could bet on there being no centuries right up to more than 10. If I also go back to QTracker and look at the head-to-head between Neil Robertson and Mark Selby, then you'll see here where it says centuries under each match. I've actually gone and added all of them up, and in the 138 frames that they've played against each other, there have actually been 24 centuries. Now, if you translate this into the upcoming match, which is best of 33, it would mean that it would be roughly between 5 and 6 centuries made if it went the full distance. I'm fairly confident that this is probably a good number to bet on, especially given the number of centuries that Neil Robertson has actually scored so far this season. So all I have to do is click on 6 centuries, and you see it now gets added to my betting slip. The odds are 9 to 2. I'm going to put £10 as my stake, and this gives me potential returns of £55. So once you've selected your market, your selection and your stake, all you need to do is click the place bet button and your bet is placed straight away. Now, as for the actual outcome of the match, if we go back to the head-to-head, you can see that Mark Selby has currently got a head-to-head lead over Neil Robertson. Out of the 19 matches they played, Selby has won 12, Neil Robertson has won 6, and there's been 1 draw. But obviously recently Neil Robertson has been playing a lot better. He is currently the world #1, and obviously a number of centuries he's scored this season suggests that he's on very good form, which is why he's currently a favourite. Now, I could look at the normal to win market. Now that would simply be who was going to win the match, but I think to get better odds, I'm going to bet on the handicap betting. As you can see here, you've got Mark Selby plus 2.5 and Neil Robertson minus 2.5. Now what this means is that if you were to bet on Mark Selby, it effectively says that he has got a 2.5 frame advantage over Neil Robertson to begin with. And if you bet on Neil Robertson minus 2.5, it means that he's got a 2.5 frame disadvantage to begin with. So what this means is that if I were to bet on Neil Robertson minus 2.5 at odds of 10 to 11, then Neil Robertson has got to win by 3 clear frames in order for this to come true. Because essentially what it does is it takes the final score and then it minuses 2.5 frames off of Neil Robertson's score. So he has to win by at least 3 frames to still win, even with the handicap. So I'm going to bet on this market, and I'm going to bet £10 for a potential return of £19.09. And again, all you have to do is click place bet, and that is your bet placed. Now, there are plenty of other markets available. You could potentially try and pick the correct score of the match overall. That's obviously quite difficult to do given the number of permutations. Again, you've got centuries in terms of how many there will be in the entire match, whether they be over 4.5 or under 4.5. You've got things like highest break in the match, who's going to get the highest break. You can bet on whether it be a 147. You can bet on the total frames, whether there be an odd number of frames or an even number of frames. You can bet on outcomes of the first frame or the first session. And actually there is one little market in here which is quite an interesting one. It's session 1 and match result. So what this means is who's going to win the first session and who's going to win the whole match. So where it says Mark Selby frames 1 to 8 dash Mark Selby, this means that Mark Selby will be leading after the first 8 frames and he will win the match outright. So in this case I fancy that it will be 4-all after the first 8 frames, so it will start on a draw, and then Neil Robertson will come through to win the match outright. And as you can see, that gives me odds of 4 to 1. So if I click on that, it gets added to my betting slip. Simply go back up. I'm going to put £5 on this market for a potential return of £25, and I'm going to click place bet. Now you can come in and you can explore all of these different types of bets. There's plenty of options available to you, and like I said, if it's an ongoing match, you can view it in play and you can really get some good value odds by watching the match and betting at the most opportune moment. That's all for today. I wish you all the best with your betting, and I'll see you next time.